Okay, everyone. Welcome. So, as of right now and for some time, we're going to be continuing with just conversions and measurements for about a few weeks till I believe chapter 12. So, in chapter 9, we're going to begin talking about the apothecary system. So, if you've never heard about the apothecary system up until the words just came out of my mouth, it is completely okay. Because to be honest, I didn't know about the apothecary system until I started teaching this class. And that is because the apothecary system is a historical system. So obviously, way back whenever the apothecary system first originated, they were figuring things out with measurements, how to measure certain values and stuff like that. I think, I believe unless it's like a old tale when it comes to like the measurement of the foot, it was literally the measurement of a king's foot. And so obviously from there, we worked down to a standard system that everyone could use universally. But again, the apothecary system, fear not, it is a dated historical system. This is a system that we do not follow anymore. But of course, I do believe my mom, who is a nurse, I know she told me that they will eventually, you guys, for whatever standardized tests you might need for your future to get your licensing, they do kind of ask questions about the apothecary system. So, okay, let's get started. So, the apothecary system, formal definition, is a historical system of mass and volume units. So, here you can see the table of the measurements. I'm not sure if I have not. So, when it comes to this class, when it comes to conversions, if you're going a metric to a metric, I will not give you the conversions because remember that's based off a base 10 system. So it's some multiple of 10, the kilograms, hectogram, decagram, so on and so forth to milligram. If you're going from a metric to metric, remember you could use the prefix line. So I will not be giving those measurements. But if you are stepping out of the metric system, so now notice ounces and drams and stuff like that, and eventually we'll go on further to like the US customary system and the household system. I will give you those measurements because it's a bunch to remember, and I would rather you guys know how to do something and not mess it up on just not knowing the appropriate conversion. So I will give you that measurement. But again, metric system, I will not give you that measurement if it's going metric to metric. So that is where you want to make sure you're memorizing and you're up to date with either the prefix line or whatever other method you might have. I'm pretty sure in the textbook there is like what's that called? A some sort of mnemonic device or something like that to help know. Okay. So, a few things we got to know. There is some rules on how to write certain values in the apothecary system. So, let's talk about it. So, and this we will be talking about in the first video. So, writing a value in the apothecary system. First thing, we write whole numbers. So, remember, whole numbers are like the counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. We write those with Roman numerals. So I will say for my class specifically, I will be okay with you guys knowing the Roman numerals 1 through 10. So after that, I think it's a little bit excessive. As long as you're okay with 1 through 10, I'm okay with that as well. But so the way we go ahead and write, oh, what just happened? The whole numbers again are lowercase Roman numerals. So that's the first rule. Second rule is the apothecary system does not follow a decimal based system. So if there is any number that you recognize is not a whole number, like 1 and 3/4, a quarter of something, so on and so forth, that is where you will use fractions or mixed numbers. So again, with the apothecary system, no decimals. So that's something to keep in mind. No decimals. If you're going to show something and it's not a whole number, it must be written as a fraction or a mixed number. And then another third rule, and again, remember, these are rules that people used at one time. Maybe it doesn't make sense in our day and age, but again, it is a system that was not for our day and age, but nonetheless, we can still know about it. So when using the abbreviation for grain, so here we have grains. So 1 ounce is equal to 480 grains. For grain, along with Roman numerals, so if we are given some value within a whole number and you see specifically that measurement is in terms of a grain, we write the unit before the quantity. So again, it's just another tedious, nitpicky rule that, again, you guys can assume I will examine you on. So make sure you know all three of these rules because, again, there's not much to the apothecary system. So this is where I really will, certain tedious things like this, I will focus on. Okay, let's do some examples. So write the amounts using the apothecary system. So first example, 7 grains. First things first, we want to recognize what kind of number is this? Is it a fraction or a whole number? It is a whole number, so we have to make sure to write it with a lowercase Roman numeral. And secondly, notice that the unit is grains. So this then goes to our third rule that we have to write the abbreviation for the unit before the quantity. So the abbreviation for grains is GR. Oh, that is so big. So there's our abbreviation of the unit. And then we want to express 7. These are I's, not, I don't know what else you would think they are. Oh, that is 8. And there we can see 7 in our lowercase Roman numerals. So that is our first example. And see, now we have 5 1/2 ounces. So we don't have to worry about the third rule because now we have ounces. That's what we can abbreviate normally. And of course, in the textbook, you can see all the different abbreviations. So that information I will not give you. That's something that you guys will know in your future. So make sure you know how to abbreviate all these different units. And here we can see 5 1/2 ounces. So 5 1/2, what kind of number is that? Notice it's not just 5. So it's a mixed number because notice it's 5 1/2. We have a whole number with a fractional remainder. So 5 1/2, we have 5. And how would we represent 1/2 as a fraction? Well, 1/2. And of course, ounces is abbreviated as OZ. And this is the end of our first video.